You know your kids can fall or maybe even run into things, but there's another danger you may not be aware of. It's a lesson one family learned the hard way.
Yes, it is hot.
William Casson is nearly 2 years old, and already he knows the word hot all too well.
Hot is in his 20-word vocabulary. I mean, everything is hot.
That's because 2 months ago, what started as an ordinary afternoon in the park soon turned into 4 days in the hospital burn unit. So what happened?
Will got out of the sandbox. I went to get his shoes and proceeded to follow him, and I looked up and he had stepped onto the black rubber mats that the jungle gyms are built on, and he started screaming hysterically. I looked at his feet, and the skin was hanging off of both feet.
Anne's first reaction, get William to the hospital.
Even a playground, which should be a lot of fun, can be a dangerous place.
Dr. Palmer Bessie treated William at New York Presbyterian Hospital.
The child's reactions may be a little less conditioned, so that they may not know quite what to do when suddenly they notice it's really hot.
To see just how hot the mats can get, we brought a thermometer to the New York City park where William's parents say he was burned. The afternoon we visited, the air temperature was in the low 80s. But when we tested the rubber mats, they showed a reading of 117, 35 degrees hotter than the air, and a cause for concern for William's parents.
I couldn't believe that had happened from the playground out. We're in the playgrounds all the time, and you think they're a safe place to be.
Today, William's doing well. His parents trying to get the word out.
Dear Mayor Bloomberg.
Writing a letter to New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg.
The city needs to address the issue of these dangerous mats immediately.
In a statement, the New York City Parks and Recreation Department says, quote, rubber safety surface mats are essential to reducing the risk of serious head injuries and broken limbs. We urge parents and caregivers to use common sense and make sure their children are wearing shoes or other protective gear when walking or playing on streets or in playgrounds. And as for Richard and Ann Casson,
our main goal here is that no other kids get burned. Replace these mats with an acceptable alternative.
You can't protect children from one injury, which is the purpose of these mats, but be creating more injuries.
Donna Thompson is the executive director of the National Program for Playground Safety. Hi, Donna. Good to see you.
Hi there.
You were shaking your head during that saying, and I got the message you were saying, don't replace the mats. You need mats to protect children.
Yes, and other kinds of surfacing as well to prevent them from being injured when they fall, because they're going to fall.
Is there an alternative, though? Is there something you can put down that doesn't quite get as hot as those black mats do?
Pea gravel, sand, wood products might not, but nevertheless, they need to be there, and they get hot too.
Yeah, but the word of warning is just parents, beware. Get shoes on your kids. By the way, it's not only the black mats on the ground. The plastic slides and the metal slides, when in direct sunlight, can get blazing hot as well.
Yes, they can. They can get anywhere from 100 to 150 degrees, depending on the heat of the day.
You've got tips for parents, and I think the easiest way for parents to remember these is think of the word SAFE, S-A-F-E. Let's take it one letter at a time. S stands for supervision.
Yes, it does. Parents need to be there, or adults, on the playground with children, and one of the things they need to do is to check to see that the kids have shoes on. You should not be playing on playground equipment without shoes.
A stands for age-appropriate design. So what ages are we talking about here? First of all, what age should kids be at a playground?
Currently, playground equipment is made for kids ages 2 to 5 and then 5 to 12. There's a new standard that's been made for play equipment for children from ages 6 months through 23 months. But there is very little equipment out there for those children at this point.
And make sure your kids are playing on the equipment that's appropriate for their particular age. Check for fall surfacing. That's the F in the equation.
Yes, and we just talked about that a little bit. We want to be sure it's out there. If you have loose fill, like pea gravel or wood products or sand, it needs to be at least 12 inches thick. And if it is rubber or poured in place, then again, check just by using your hand if you need to see that it's not too hot for your kids.
And finally, E in the word SAFE is equipment maintenance, and this is one where you can prevent a lot of injuries.
Yes, and in addition to checking the nuts and the bolts and that sort of thing, be sure there's shade, for goodness sakes. And you can do that by donating a tree. Sometimes you need to have one that's big enough that it costs $300 because it needs to be 6 feet high. If it's only 2 inches when you donate it, it isn't going to be as high as the kids by the time they get out of child care.
That's good information. Donna, thank you very much. We appreciate it very much.
You're welcome.